Hey guys, Stephan Kesting from grapplers.com here, and I am in sunny San Francisco with Mr. Kurt Osiander at the Ralph Gracie Academy. This is a really nice school. It's pretty big.
It's huge, and we have a lot of students, and it was really huge, and we moved in, and we're like, yeah, look at all the space we have. And then immediately we got more students, and now it's full again, so I added more classes. Because I'm so lazy, I only do like 4 and 5 a day, so I added more classes.
Yeah, you've been here a long time today. Like, we're doing this at 1 in the afternoon, but you've been up since, like, this is not a jiu-jitsu lifestyle, this whole getting up at 6 in the morning business.
It is for an American or somebody who's like, you know, like not used to doing that. I'm used to getting up early. I've been working early since like I was little. I always had paper route, and then I was in the construction field, so construction is like get up, get out to the job site, and then work until like 3, and then you drive back, you know. So I got used to being up very early.
Yeah. Cool. So what do you teach here? You teach obviously Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You also teach no-gi. You also teach stand-up stuff.
I will teach basics for beginners, like boxing and Muay Thai and stuff like that. I have other guys that are far more qualified and are way more, how can I say, technically correct about the stand-up stuff. But I mean, I put in 10,000 hours, but my field is, of course, Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. So you put your 20,000 hours in.
Yeah, it's going on that now, probably.
How long have you been Jiu-Jitsu?
Since '93, before the first UFC ever was aired.
So why did you get into it? Was it Gracie in action? Everybody from before the UFC was the Gracie in action.
I actually knew a Gracie, and so I went to high school with Cesar Gracie, and after we got done with high school, he disappeared. And everything went along, you know, everybody got married, had kids, etc., etc. I was married to a first wife, and he came back, and all of a sudden he was on the front porch, and I'm like, where the fuck have you been? Because I went to Brazil to learn my family's martial art. I'm like, show me something. Fucking put me in Mata Leon, and I go, I gotta fucking learn that shit. So I got lucky that I was like in the first batch, like the first people that we were training together was like my friend Jim Hoskins, who's a fireman, Ed Fuchs, Rob McCuskey, I think Mike Monlight was training for a little while, and myself. And we would move all the furniture and fucking kill each other on these fold-out gymnastic mats. And then when it was finally time to open an academy, I was the one who fucking tore down walls, paint, and...
Because you're doing construction stuff
yeah,
anyway.
so I knew how to do that stuff and set up the first academy that was in Pleasant Hill.
Okay. And that was with Ralph?
I was with Cesar, and then shortly after that, it got busy, and Cesar called for help to come and help me.
Okay, cool. And so you've been doing that ever since?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been doing the jiu-jitsu full-time? When did you do the construction stuff behind?
That was in '98.
Okay. So that was still pretty early. And we're talking like Don Fry was probably that. So when did that
Yeah, Pride. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was like the Pride days, the early Pride days and stuff like that. I got lucky that I got to go over there like 4 times for Bushido with the Gracies.
Mm-hmm. Who were you cornering?
I was with Hal, of course.
Cornering?
Half and Crosley.
The entourage.
Yeah. And then I went over there with BC, one of my students who just left. Darren Yanoyama was the first time I went to Japan, and they wanted to throw someone in a fire and let their poster child beat the shit out of my guy.
Yeah.
And we went over there and killed him. And that was the first time I went to fucking Japan. I love it there. It's so cool. I just grab a couple water bottles and like 5 Misubis, and I get a pass on the train and cruise around and go to the toy area, which is in Shinjuku.
Okay.
I collect fucking Predator stuff and weapons and just crazy stuff. But I'm a big kid, so I can get whatever toys I want.
Yeah. Well, it's just because you get old doesn't mean you need to grow up.
I will not grow up.
So, okay. So now this whole San Francisco thing. I mean, I've been to San Francisco before, but it's a really strange city in the sense that you got like these billionaire people running around spending $4 million on an apartment. You got like super poor people. You got Tenderloin area. Like,
you got everything.
Yeah.
You've got everything. In fact, like me, I've been here in this location, and in the beginning, I was like, holy crap, it's just fucking weirdos, homeless, and fucking gigantic transvestites, and and you witness like atrocities daily. And then as I want to say like 2 years ago, like all of a sudden stuff started getting cooler. The brewery opened up next door.
Who'd think that a brewery would actually improve a neighborhood?
It did, man. It's a nice craft brew thing. Across the street, that now is how you doing, Jeremiah? And then across the street, like opened up. They bought the building. It's going to be a startup, and then there's a bunch of startups down the street, and they're gutting another building down there, and then building apartments here and there. And so all of a sudden, now it's like normal people. And then one weirdo. Oh, look, there's a weirdo. But it's a nice change, It's like, the shame about San Francisco, it's a really cool city, and it's got its sides and everything, but, man, it's covered in fucking human piss and shit. And that's because everybody in the whole country gets the dregs of society a free fucking ticket to come here and get fucking free money. And it's not fucking free. All of us that are working and paying taxes, and then they're like this. They're I call them the race of entitlement, because they get to like, hey, just give me money. I don't have to do anything. Just give me. I wasn't raised like that. My dad and my mom are they're immigrants, and they came here a long time ago, and they went to school right here in SF. They went to USF, and they came here.
Kind of the classic immigrant story.
Yeah, they came here with $500, $400. They worked really hard. They went to school. They got naturalized. They got their green cards. And they were, now they are sworn in Americans, just like a lot of my friends. And little house, and you sell that house and everything else. So I was always taught that you can have anything you want as long as you're willing to bust ass for it.
Well, it's not a bad lesson if you're going to make your life in jiu-jitsu too, or so the real reason we're doing this interview is so you can give us the secret to the really easy way to get good at jiu-jitsu, without putting in all this time.
The easy way? If you're like, I don't know, God-gifted fucking talent, yeah, or you are you're already a top 5% athlete in some other sport, and you transition over, you'll just be a physical beast, and maybe you have a outrageous learning curve.
So start by being an Olympic judo guy.
Judo or wrestling would have helped you, yeah.
And then the jiu-jitsu is easy.
Yeah,
awesome. Well, thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, or whatever. That pretty soon they could just maybe inject you or something. But I haven't found an easy way.
We'll have to wait for the Chinese to develop all that genetic doping.
Exactly. No, they are. They got some doping going on for sure. When they got little 14-year-old girls doing fucking crazy shit.
Yeah. So, how much of a role does talent play? Like, the raw material play in jiu-jitsu? Like, or another way of putting that, can anybody become a black belt? If you got somebody who's got 2 left feet?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll just take them longer. And then there's different, how can I say, it's a very wide spectrum, Shit, the guy got his black belt because he stuck it out, and then you got, these guys, they're like they're the bottom 50%, and then all of a sudden there's these guys, they're the 25% here, but then when you get up here into the 5 and 10%, then you got your superstars, right? And those are the guys that are just...
Those are the guys that are winning the world championship.
They're winning the shit, exactly,
So then, if you could, start your jiu-jitsu journey again, but be given one physical talent, like just, you'd be crazy flexible. You put both your feet behind your own head and scratch your lower back with them. Or you could be super strong, or you could be you never ever get tired, sort of like physical athlete. What would you choose?
Never ever get tired.
Yeah. Endurance?
Endurance. Nah, there's nothing like that. These guys see me, I still fucking do all my crazy shit and everything. They're like, I'm tired. Like, my lungs don't get tired, and I mean, the only reason I'm tired is because I fucking train 2 to 3 times a day with fucking all the young guys, and I'm still stubborn as shit. And, you know, and after a while, you know, it just wears you down. But if I have to stay in there and just survive and keep going, I can. But that's psychology too. But yeah, I mean, I have really good endurance. I mean, sure, see you tomorrow. I get tired and I don't like fall to pieces. If you told me you keep going, I keep going. But that's something that we got taught in the first batch. You know, Ralph would be like, "You guys don't feel this. You guys will never stop. You guys keep going." Like, ah. You know, so I totally believe in that. You know, and then some guys are like, "Dude, what do I need to do to do this?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're fucking talented. You're smart, but you don't like pain and you don't like to suffer. So the guy over there who's not as good as you, right, isn't as smart as you, but he's ferocious and he doesn't mind pain or suffering, which is like, you know, your physical preparation and stuff." That's a difference, you know. Like I remember when my dad was my role model and coach, you know, in soccer, and he's like, I'm like, man, but that guy's, you know, he's bigger and stronger, he's faster than me, Dad. He's like, you can outwork talent. So that's my biggest thing is like, I was talented at soccer, and I kind of pissed that shit away. But luckily I came back to a sport and everything, and my dad loves me again. And I tell the guys the same thing. I'm like, a lot of instructors, they'll teach the talented guys because it's so easy, and then the rest of the crew sucks. Me, I'm the exact opposite. The talented guys, I don't gotta fucking pay attention to. I go over there and show it to them once, and I'll sit there and drill it. I work on like getting the average Joe guy good. My fucking technology nerds over here are like dangerous as fuck by the time they're like fucking blue belts. So that's a lot harder to make guys that are just average guys into fucking cool, you know, jiu-jitsu guys.
Well, you think, I mean, there's a lot of guys, or a lot of instructors, all they really care about is the team trophy at the tournament, right? Like, whose team got the most trophies, and as a result, they focus on their competitors, and not the
thing
guys.
Is that I put the general population here. I don't have a fight team, you know, competition team. Everybody's on the competition team, and then since we only get 2 spots, we'll fucking battle it out here to see who gets the 2 spots.
That's like old school back in Brazil. The story that you hear about where the toughest fight was in the academy.
The academy. It is still. The tough thing about tournaments is the psychology and the nerves and stuff. And that went away after I did cage fighting. I was like, fuck.
I'm not gonna die.
Nobody's gonna fucking try to kill me and fucking punch me. So, and I used to get more nervous because I was so worried about doing good for the team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You put your own pressure on yourself.
Did you get over that?
Yeah, totally.
So how did you get over that? Like,
I just realized that I trained so fucking hard, I do my physical preparation, and I realized, man, everything now is set. You know, I'm not broken, I'm in shape, jiu-jitsu's good. Shit, let the guy roll. You know.
you've done everything you can. And
I used to not get nervous for MMA. They're like, why? I like the lights, I like the crowd. I'm like, why? I used to be in a band, but it doesn't fucking bother me. And they're like, what do you think about it? I'm like, I don't have to sing. I'm just gonna go in there and fucking beat the fuck out of this guy, you know? So.
How many cage fights do you have?
I did 5. I won 4 and I lost 1. I got knocked out one time. Damn it. And I was supposed to just do 1. I was just testing myself because you always want to like emulate who you respect, so I want to be like Ralph. I have to test myself. Am I brave enough to do this? And I did the first one. I was like, fuck, that was the best thing I've ever done in my life. It's addicting.
Yeah.
So then I would get ready with the other guys on the team.
I mean, helping them in their camps.
We would do their camp. I would do your camp. I would do your camp. I had fucking Luke and Joey and James and Chris and Evan and fucking Nick Diodicus and fucking Jake came over here and trains with us. And we had a really nice Kush Bean, and fucking my buddy Sapone did one. And, you know, everybody who did, who was gonna fight, we got together. We got ready together. But
this isn't like sort of California underground scene?
No, this was like King of the Cage and Strikeforce.
Okay.
And then Chris also went on to UFC. Or after they robbed Luke in Strikeforce against Galvão, Luke took his what he saved up and opened up Seventh Sun Tattoo. And he's still so fucking good, man. But now he's super busy and very successful with one of the top shops here in SF. So if you want to get a tattoo, you better fucking make an appointment 3 months in advance, or else you're not gonna get tattooed.
Is that who did most of your tats?
Yeah, Luke did both my arms. Or Yutora did my leg. Joey did this leg. My back's done by Trevor Dalton. And
what are you gonna put on your face?
nothing on my face.
Come
People,
on.
yeah, people who tattoo their face are, I forget what the percentage is, commit suicide. And Luke is vying for my whole front here, so we'll see what
Should open
happens.
the bidding process. You can see how they can sweeten the pot
The
for
thing
you.
is, like, I was Luke's black belt teaching him jiu-jitsu. Now he's my black belt teaching me how to draw and do art and shit.
Okay.
It's so awful because I didn't fuck with those guys that much. They were very good students and listened very well. I am too, but I'll like go over there and I'll be like John, and I'll leave, go back to him, and I don't know what these guys do, and I'll come back and there's just dicks all over my drawing, and I'm like, motherfucker, and I go over my stuff and there's fucking gay, homosexual fucking pictures, and I'm like, fuck, you know?
Wait, are you doing a live drawing or something, or where are you doing this drawing?
I'm at the tattoo shop.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just sitting there, you know, doing traditional or Japanese style or whatever, you know, Luke and the guys want me to do. I'm trying to get 10,000 hours of that somewhere.
Oh, you want to move into actual tattooing?
I'd like to be able to do it, yeah, but mostly I started to do it because I was artistic before, and I set that aside when I was, and threw out music and my art just to do jiu-jitsu.
Right. Well, I mean, people talk about making sacrifices, but that's kind of thrown out there. But it means you got to sacrifice something. You got to there got to be something that you want to do.
Something has to, like, those hours that, you know, now it's really cool because I get done here and I go get lunch, and then I get to switch the channel and fucking do art and paint and fucking read. And it's really fun. And so then I put out some art prints, and then like people contact me like, hey, you send me a print or fucking do a painting for me, and I'm like, heck yeah, I'll do an art piece and send it to the person, and I'm really stoked.
So we got Leonardo da Vinci, Renaissance man right here, folks.
I would like that. I would like to get that good, man. Later.
You just need to have like some dissections going on and do drawings of the dissections.
I'm doing all kinds of crazy shit. And then they're like, what would you pick next if you wanted to get another 10,000 hours in something? I'm all sword fighting. And they're like, what? Well, yeah, like there's these leagues where these guys are in full plate, fucking with blunted swords and whatever, and they go after each other. And Luke was showing it, and one of his clients does it, and then he's like, what do you think? I'm all, that's so cool. So would you do it? I'm like, I would, but I don't have my own armor. And he goes, we'll get your armor, Kurt. I'm like, fuck yeah. So that's what I would do. Like, I have all the ancient sword manners, like copies naturally, but like from Germany and Spain and everything like that. And I collect all kinds of ancient weapons and stuff like that.
I've seen some of those, and I got like a lot of it looks really good, but I bet some of it they were taking the piss out on the reader. Like they're putting in some crazy ass shit that will probably never work. It's like let's see if we get. It's like guys putting stuff on the YouTube. You know, the beetle nut guard or something.
Totally. Like it could be like. I mean, there are some things in there, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, maybe those were like the inside kung fu magazines of the day. We had some
Holy
like
shit.
crazy guy like. Here's an 18-point ninja technique.
They're pretty sensible. It's a lot like boxing. It's a lot of angles, you know? So that always has interested me.
Well, maybe books were so much more expensive to produce back then that they didn't screw around with you.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't fuck with it. That's exactly true.
Yeah.
So I like that era and everything. I got a bunch of cool stuff. I have some really cool antiques. And that's what I like to get. I'm not really into fucking expensive cars and watches and such, and clothes. For sure not clothes. I don't need that very many clothes to do jiu-jitsu, which is nice. But I like fucking weapons.
To totally change track, let's talk a little bit about how sort of jiu-jitsu training has changed. Because you were there, you started really early. You started with one of the hardcores of the sport, Ralph Gracie. I mean, technical but hardcore, I think is a fair description.
We like to put it technical savagery.
Technical savagery. So how, like, so you've seen like the evolution of it. Start, you know, like when you guys started. Was it like closed guard all the way, or was it already?
Totally, we would do one move for the whole month, every class, forever and ever. And then he goes, and Hal would tell us, he goes, these guys are coming in from Brazil, they have some higher belts, but I want you to close your guard and just arm lock them. I'm like, yes. And you know, pretty soon we'd fucking get closed guard and boom, we'd fucking arm lock everybody. And that was like the first batch with me, BJ, Reagan, JD, Big Dave, Dan, Dave Camarillo, Cameron, Gumby, Nisho Seiko. Who else was there? Fuck, I know I'm gonna fucking miss somebody. Scotty Rockstar, fucking on the map, owner. Man,
and apologies to everybody that you've been touched in the head a few times, so.
A lot.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, man, it was really cool because we got the Kool-Aid and we drank it. Yeah. And we were fucking mean as fuck and tough as shit. And if you look at everybody who came out of here and opened their own school, they're all very successful schools and with very good students. So Hal did a good job with us.
So then, like now, the sport's evolved. There's been some really big jumps or evolution since then, right? Like, I mean.
Well, I believe that everything's accelerated because of we didn't have internet.
Right.
There was no YouTube. It was fucking. We would bootleg fucking tapes from Brazil on VHS.
Yeah.
And their current is different, and so when we watch it, they were in black and white. We'd be like, wow, they don't even got color TV over there. Yeah, I think that the saturation of the information and Move of the Week helped a lot of people, and I'm super stoked when people come up and go, dude, I did your move and I just fucking won gold medal. I just did your move and it fucking worked. I'm like, fuck yeah. Because I watched some other guys do it and they talk philosophy and there's like blah, blah, blah. And I'm waiting for the move because I want to see the move and I want to see if it's cool. And I'm like, fuck. Are you going to talk that fucking much? I'm like, and then I'm bored, you know? So that's why I kind of started doing that just for fun. It wasn't even, this was not preordained. It was not.
Oh, you mean the techniques that you're showing on YouTube?
No, nothing. The whole success was like not even on purpose. My friend would, if I could take his phone and go do something, I'd be like, ah, you know? And then I started going, okay, do this, and the guy goes, and thank you, you know? And I think people appreciate that because I'm not gonna fucking sit there and she's like embellished the whole thing. It's like, no, grab me here, grab like that, do this, and now fuck you, ISIS, and go. And I think they like to. Sorry if I'm Kurt, but I like to be Kurt. And I think people their attention span is like, they're like, fuck, that was funny, and I did the move, and he doesn't talk a bunch about fucking philosophy and shit. If you want to talk philosophy, call me up at the cabin.
Yeah. Okay, so then, I mean, now we got a game where we got upside down, inside out, Della Worm, Spider, Della Hiva. I think there were too many Des in there, but we're going to a Berimbolo, inside out, 50-50, all that.
I hate that position. That's like the worst one.
50-50?
50-50, I don't even know what the fuck it is. It's like, fuck. After I saw that, I was like, people are going there? Well, go ahead, do that in a fight. I'll fucking fuck you up so bad there. But, like, I like a lot of the new stuff, and I've stolen it. And
So like, what's some of the new stuff that you like? Just so.
I invert shit. I can do upside down. I can bare bow. I can do all that shit. What's cool about being a black belt is I learn really fast now.
Right.
You know, yeah, I like that stuff. I like the innovation. I like the creativity that everybody's. You know, I invent shit and I give it to my guys, and it mutates and comes back, and it comes right back at me.
Right. On the map.
Yeah.
Isn't that the worst when you teach something to somebody and they fucking do it on you? That sucks.
That's when I'm doing my job. These guys are fucking, I show them good shit, and all of a sudden they're like, they're killing me. Well, that's the motto here, and I'm like, kill the master. Yeah. And they're like, what? I'm like, what do you think? I'm not gonna be making an inferior product here. I'm fucking doing this so you guys go out and spread this throughout the world and shit, or whatever. At least, you know. And that's what's really cool. I make up some stuff and I show it to the kids and they're like, that was cool, but look what I've done to it, and it's improved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you're saying, with the internet, there's so much more information out there. It's crazy. I mean, in some ways, it's probably a bad thing too. But in some
because these guys can do all kinds of crazy cool shit, but they don't have any basics.
Yeah. Escape from the now.
Oh, what do you don't even do your elbow escape right, but you can fucking fly upside down through the sky.
Yeah. Do you think that it's your MMA background maybe that sort of keeps it real, or like in terms of what would work?
The thing that makes it really cool is like the guys will like do stuff to me and I'll be like, ah, and then they go, fucking stupid 1996 Jiu-Jitsu, you know, but it will always work forever and ever because I have really solid basics. Mm-hmm. You know, guys will fucking pass my guard and do stuff like that, but I can either go to my knee, put back in the guard, and if I get in a shitty position, I was in so many bad shitty positions that I got good defense, and they're like, how come you like get such good defense? I'm like, yeah, well, you got fucking help jumping on you for a fucking hour at a time. You start to defend pretty well, and to this day, that's the only thing that fucking saves my ass. You know, my basics and my basics and my good defense.
So what do you call a basic? Like, what in your mind? What are the basics?
How about?
Or what are some of the basics?
Some of the basics: Upa, elbow escape, put into guard. Well, arm lock from the guard, simple sweep, man, all the meat and potatoes of jiu-jitsu, it's fucking really quite simple and effective. You know? Those guys mount me and they're like, man, I fucking tap everybody. And I'm just like, how come you get out of it? And I was elbow escaping them all. You used to get mounted and have him grab something and he'd go, get out of there. And we'd be like dead tired. And he'd start fucking either whipping or beating your feet to get the fuck out of the mount. And you'd fucking get out of there right, otherwise you'd get arm locked or choked, right? So the old days, the imperial conditioning was very strict.
So now, I mean, the argument for stuff like 50-50 is you got to know it to defend against it if you run into a tournament. How do you deal with that?
I ask my guys what I should do.
Okay. Well, and that actually shows humility.
Dude, I learn a lot of stuff from these guys. A lot. As sometimes, you know, I'm showing this and they're like, nah, man. I'm like, look, you gotta learn this because trust me, you'll spin it and make it different and it'll be cool. Then you can make it cool.
It seems like a lot of schools have got guys who've got jobs where they're sitting at a computer all day, and instead of working for their boss, they're spending half their time on the internet going through every last aspect.
As long as they get their projects done.
Yeah, as long as they get their project done, they can act like the filters for the school, and they can come back and go, well, yes, actually there are 18 variations of this move.
Dude, there are guys like that here for sure. They're smart. Smart people really fucking learn and retain. Like one of my students who got hit by a wave while he was surfing, totally like his leg was like this in the water. And he sat out, he was out for like 6 months and came back and jiu-jitsu was perfect. It was not fucked up. And it's because he's one of the tattoo guys over there, Jeff. And they see stuff, you know, like the pictures and images.
They're good visual learners.
Yeah, so it was like locked in there and he knows how to do it. And he doesn't hurt that he's a deep sea fucking spearman with no tanks and shit. He's got good lungs and endurance.
I hate those people who can just see a move once and then do it.
Yeah, I hate them too.
But I guess they're naturals in every sport. But as you point out, it's not the most important thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of different facets, right? It always will be. And, you know, if you can find out what facet he's not so good at, that's the one you exploit.
The nearest weapon to the weakest target.
Exactly. It's always been that, right?
So, if you got guys getting ready for a tournament, like they're let's take that. There are a couple different schools of thought. Some people say just train, just do jiu-jitsu. Other people say do jiu-jitsu and run.
It's beyond that.
Okay, so what is your approach for yourself and for coaching?
I kind of tell what I used to do for MMA. It's like a 6 to 8 week camp, ramp up. You know, you're doing your jiu-jitsu, you're drilling, you are eating correctly, you're dropping your weight already and not cutting it that week so you feel like shit. And you're cross-training, man. You're training like a professional athlete.
Right. So, like, are you like running?
You're running. You're either running, jumping rope. You're doing kettlebell with Patrick here. You're doing cleans, your deadlifts. You're doing muscle endurance, which is low weights, high reps. You know, you're doing all that stuff. Sprints, box jumps, pull-ups, push-ups, everything. All the above.
I mean, jiu-jitsu is a lot of hard work, right? And like you said, the ability to suffer helps a lot in getting good at it. So I'm guessing you would argue that this would help with the rest of your life as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, do you have any like stories or examples of people who've used it for, improving their?
The way that I see it is like the guys are like that stick to it. Especially jiu-jitsu, they do the same thing in life. It's like, no, they're not going to give up. They're going to keep going after it until they get it done, which is that's a huge big deal, you know, to be able to persevere and continue to hit your head against the wall until you are successful. So that's really good. A lot of times these guys devoted their 10,000 hours or 20,000 hours to just filling their heads and then neglected their physical being, which I think you have to be able to do. You got to be balanced, right? You got to be. I'm not as smart as them, but I know stupid stuff, a lot of stupid, useless facts and information. But if you have to be smart, then you also have to be in tune with your body. So I think that they get in shape here. I get them more confident. The confident filters over into real life, which will make them more successful, et cetera, et cetera.
What do you think about the whole gi versus no? I'm just throwing different questions at you that my readers wanted to ask you. So you teach gi and you teach no gi, and you've got background in MMA. So what about this whole gi versus no gi argument? If you want to be a no gi champ, you should only do no gi.
No.
Okay.
You have to train in gi all the time.
Okay.
And
why?
Because Ralph said so. No, that was I asked him the same question a long time ago, and he goes, if you train in your gi, your movement will be more accurate than a person who doesn't. Because they're depending on the slipperiness and the, how can I say it, the looseness of their game, because it's not as proficient. But if you're used to moving real good in your gi, when it's like you're wearing Velcro, your movement will be more accurate and is always going to be accurate whether you are in or out of your gi.
So if you had a guy getting ready for, let's say you had a purple belt or brown belt getting ready for a no-gi thing, let's say EBI or Polaris or whatever, Abu Dhabi, how would you like work the gi training in there? How much of it? How often? Obviously, probably less as you get closer to the tournament.
Absolutely. Like me, I would be in my gi and doing MMA and no gi and fucking striking and everything all day long, and then about 2 weeks from the fight, I would stop wearing my gi. That's it, man. I was wearing my gi all the time, man. Because there's an endurance that's also built up because of the traction and friction that you lose when you just do no gi. You know?
Did you ever think about fighting in your gi, Royce Gracie style?
Fuck no. I mean, that was frank and blatant. No, he was hoping that it would drive the opponent off, but that was when like the information war was on. It's like, we know this and you don't know that. But then all of a sudden people started going, oh, let's fight anti-jiu-jitsu style. And then it started going wrong with his theory of wearing the gi. And now they're like, pulling your hand.
Hockey fighting.
Yeah. So, yeah, I won't do that. I got lucky. Helps fight black belt. He always used to say that. He goes, this is sports jiu-jitsu. It's fun and cool and everything. But remember, jiu-jitsu is for fighting.
Yeah.
And so I got lucky. I got raised like that.
So you think it's got a pretty high carryover to self-defense as well?
Absolutely.
Now, do you still teach the old, Gracie self-defense techniques?
Yeah. The guys always ask me about it. They're like, what did you do when you were a bouncer? I'm like, I did self-defense to everybody. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I didn't beat the fuck out of people. I fucking self-defense and walk them out.
Yeah. So, now, do you think it's a valid argument of that if you get super good at the sport, jiu-jitsu, inverting and bowling stuff, that your self-defense skills go downhill?
I think that you'll still be able to manage against a run-of-the-mill human.
Yeah.
I mean, now
some street white belt, less than white belt.
Less than white belt, exactly. Once again, it's an information war. But then if you were kind of fighting a guy who is a savage and knows a little bit, because everybody knows a little bit now. Everybody sees it on TV.
You know what? I saw a couple of homeless guys fighting, and I think I've talked about this before. A couple of homeless guys fighting, and they were one guy was trying to guillotine, and the other guy was trying a double leg and a guard pass, and they didn't really know how to do it, but they were still trying.
But that could fuck you up if you're out in the nightclub and you start to scrap with somebody, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, I got a bamboo. I'm gonna scrap this guy." The guy would be like, in your guard, lock you down, and you're like, "Oh, I can't invert. You're gonna fucking get your head pounded in."
Yeah.
So
everybody does know a little bit. I think that's right.
Everybody knows a little bit of anti. At least the way that they see it on TV, it's like everybody's playing that. Sprawl and brawl. Fucking, I'm not gonna let you take me down, but I am gonna fucking beat the fuck out of you until you can't take me down. And then that changed. Finally, jiu-jitsu guys caught up and started doing good stand-ups, and I was like, oh fuck, this guy knows how to punch too.
So now you can control. How much MMA do you guys do here?
I only do it for guys that have the aptitude. We don't have actually open class to the fucking knuckle tunnels that come in here and go, hey, I want to do UFC.
Yeah, I want to TRANE UFC.
Hey, knuckle tunnel, the road. But yeah, I have 2 people out of all this clan that are qualified to start to fight again.
Why do you think it is? Do you think is MMA and jiu-jitsu divided or separate?
I think that the way they portray it, the marketing and everything, it's like, oh, I wrestled in high school and then I took some boxing and I think I'm ready for MMA.
Right.
I fucking got my black belt and then I started training how to do stand-up after I achieved my black belt. And I was not going to be deficient in anything. I got lucky. I have everything here at the academy. And Chris was going to do MMA, so Chris came over and he goes, hey, teach me jiu-jitsu. I'm like, hey, teach me how to do Muay Thai. Right. And we've been friends ever since, and I haven't stopped my boxing or my Muay Thai or my MMA training ever since ever. I feel that for myself to be a viable coach, I have to always get upgraded and keep up with the Joneses and shit. So
as we wrap this up, I got one other question that somebody asked me. So you've been training a long time, been doing a lot of stuff, a lot of wear and tear on the body. So what advice do you have for people who want to be training this for a long time? Right? I mean, it's easy to get good quick if you're willing to burn your body out. But if you want to be in it for the long haul,
pace yourself. Pace yourself or be a mutant like myself.
Why do you call yourself a mutant?
These guys can't believe some of the shit I do and how much I can train. Now they're trying to hold me back. They're like, oh, today you're going to just sit there and coach. Who the fuck are you? Let me back out there. I'm okay. I'm fucking just going to train a little bit. Yeah, right, a little bit. So they're trying to make me modify my training a little bit. And I do a little bit now. If I feel bad, I go, okay, I'm going to rest.
How old are you?
I'm 51.
51. That's nice hair for 51. Is it implants, maybe?
Nope.
No.
This is all
I hate you. That used to be me.
See? I was good. And that's what happens when you're good.
You're good.
I got lucky, man. My mom's dad was fucking bald like you. And then I go and visit my mom and dad and my aunt and everybody, and they're just like, fuck is with his hair? And I'm like, Mom, where'd I get this hair? And she goes, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And my dad, I'm like, Dad, where'd I get this hair? And he's like, fuck. And he doesn't say that. He goes, I have no idea. You know, and I'm like, well, does anybody have hair like this in our family? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh.
The mailman, though.
Everybody said that. My mom doesn't think that's funny.
No, weird.
Needless to say, she goes, that's not funny. The mailman? She's like, that's not funny. I'm fucking Catholic and shit. You know, she doesn't say any of these words, by the way.
Yeah.
But basically, she means
You're interpreting.
I'm interpreting, yeah. It's funny when my mom goes, that's not. My mom's from El Salvador, Central America, so she's still got her accent. She goes, that's not funny. I'm like,
So, but how do you say pace yourself? Unless you're a mutant, you say pace yourself. At the same time, you're saying go hard, go balls to the wall. Those are opposite things, kind of, sort of.
I think that if you, God damn it, these guys got a lot of technology too now that we didn't have, and
Different recovery and
yeah, I mean, man, we didn't have protein and fucking this and that, and then finally I started getting hip and taking my stuff and joint stuff. And, these guys can train different, and they train kind of like Olympic athletes now, and they get therapy, they get this, they get ultrasound. I think that the guys will be just as tough and smart. Now, will they be savages and ruthless? No, but they'll be good, you know. There always will be an anomaly like that. I'm thankful that I got brought up the way I was. The guys that have the aptitude, they get the treatment like I got the treatment, and so that's why the guys here do really well in all the venues, man.
Yeah.
Every venue, gi, no gi, MMA, fucking you name it.
Mm-hmm. Well, nobody says, like, oh, good, I'm going up against the Ralph Gracie guy next.
No,
nobody says that.
Nobody should ever say that.
Yeah.
In the old days, we were such fucking evil fuckers. We would fuck each other up, which was stimulated by Ralph talking shit to each other while we were fighting each other. Or he would wait and then fucking put a thought in your head for the next time we trained together, and he'd be like,
wind him up and let him go.
Yeah, he'd just fucking watch us fucking just kill each other, arm lock the shit out of each, choke each other unconscious and shit like that. So that was not a good thing, but it was.
But it worked.
Because then when we'd go to tournaments, we'd be like, and then we would line up and they're like, and that number something is so-and-so from this, and then also so-and-so from Ralph Gracie. And you'd see the guy fucking break psychologically because he knew that if he did not tap, he was going to get fucked up. And we would fuck guys up and we would lose, but the other guy couldn't go on to the next round. So that was our legacy. We'd line up and everybody'd be like, fuck, tap really fast when these guys catch you. That's already fucking you up.
Yeah. I tell you, you've already taken it. You're already on the defensive now.
Yeah.
And that was back in the day when you had things like neck cramps and the stuff like that.
Yeah, the stuff you can't do now.
Yeah, more leg locks were legal.
But I believe we had knee locks when we were purple back then.
Yeah. It's amazing how much stuff that rules do make the art. It's like there's.
And these guys, the smart guys, they're so fucking smart that they're fucking playing with the rules just like fucking people do in real life.
Sure.
You know?
Well, anytime you got a set of rules, you got some guys sitting there spending all their time trying to figure out how to game it.
I know.
And
I fucking hate that.
you just want to wind them up and let them go and let the biggest savage win.
That's what's fucking cool about it. I like going to the tournaments because I get to see all my buddies that I don't see at all.
Yeah.
From all over. They're like, Kurt. They remember me when I was like blue and purple belt. Now they're, it's cool. I really enjoy myself.
Well, for all the people who can't come to California and hang out with you or train at the school, they should follow you on YouTube. You put out some really good stuff. They should
follow me. They should have me over to their academy, and eventually, when my dog goes to college, code word for dies, I will start to do international stuff and go all throughout the world and see everybody.
Yeah. So you're looking forward to that traveling?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to my dog dying, but I am looking forward to go to a lot of places that I have not seen. I got lucky. I have immigrant parents, so I got to see a lot of the planet. And then Jiu-Jitsu has taken me a lot of cool places too.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you must get them too. I get emails from Iraq, Iran.
I'm really big on supporting our military guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fucking go anywhere and fucking teach those guys anything they fucking want. And so I'm mixed up with the Mission 22 guys. My sponsor, Show Your Roll, is fucking super fucking bomb ass cool with Bear and Roach. Those guys fucking hook it up for me. And Q5. Who else? Bauer Fine and everything. I'm so hooked up, and I got so many T-shirts. You know?
And a closet full of gis.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, man.
Pleasure.
I'm sure people will find this really useful. And,
At least amusing.
at least the music, but I think it's going to be a lot more than that.
Cool.
Okay, good luck with your training, man.
Thank you.